Hi, everybody. How are you? My name is Ryan Anderson. I'm the Associate Dean of Business and Entrepreneurship at Mohawk College. Welcome to another Center Snackable session. Today, we have Nadia and Melanie who are here with us today, and I know we've heard them on a couple sessions. This one's going to talk about creativity, and this is something that some entrepreneurs are very challenged by because they're more business focused. Other entrepreneurs get into this because they are very creative and very passionate. So there is always sometimes those give and takes. So without any further ado, I'd love to introduce you to Nadia and Melanie. And Nadia, why don't we start by you introducing yourself to us?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Nadia Ishmail. I'm the owner of a holistic boutique here in Hamilton called Stone and Shadow, where we have a holistic boutique upstairs and we have a wellness center and studio in our lower level.
And it's fun stuff, huh? It really is. Sorry, Melanie, I've learned so much about what Nadia does and the variety of things that you offer. And it's great. It really is, especially these days when people need alternatives to some of the things they've been doing in the past. So thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us today. Melanie, good morning.
Good morning. I am the proud founder of Olive and Splash, which is a bamboo athleisure company, and we design hoodies, joggers, tees, tights, face masks, and so much more in Toronto. And yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Thanks so much, both of you, for your time today. You know, one of the many reasons why I'm excited for the two of you to talk about creativity in a business is that you both have had to be. Creativity in not only designing your business, but in how you're offering your products, new product offerings, and also how you've been conducting your business when it comes to our pandemic in the last couple of years. So Melanie, a quick question for you to start. You know, whether it be designing or conducting business, you need to be creative. What is your approach to creativity?
What's my approach to creativity? So I try to stay motivated and creative by life experience. And I love to travel. I love to see how other people and cultures operate in all different places around the world. It really kind of sparks my creativity. Whether it's like design in like automotive or interior of homes and that kind of stuff. It's I think you kind of always have your mind wide open, and in all different environments, getting to see different things will spark creativity for myself. And yeah, and that way, whether it's different, like for me, textiles and designs and just the way, you know, gear performs, and participating in different life experiences. I love sports and I love to ski. And I think that's what, I mean, that's what we participate in with our business and our design. And so when you get to try other apparel and you get to try, you know, other like outfits and things, you're going to take stuff from one and another and be like, this would be really, really cool if we, you know, designed this or made this. And then also having a great team behind me, right? It's just definitely not me. So when you have more brains and hands on deck, you're able to come up with some really cool concepts and then lead it into our manufacturing, which is comes into our apparel.
I think it's really interesting in that, you know, some of the best ideas in a given industry never come from that industry. And they come from somewhere else. And in service delivery, there's so many different things that you can take if you just open your eyes up to a whole market, not just your own sort of industry. So it's a really interesting concept to take. It's interesting. Nadia, over to you.
Yeah, creativity is kind of sparked everywhere here because it's the foundation of the work that I do is creative, working with my hands and new products and things like that. So being able to take a step outside of the industrial world sometimes and move back into nature is really important. Connecting with the people that are closest in my circle. So although this is a holistic boutique working with natural products and energy work and metaphysicals and things like that, I have a very, you know, my best friend is in plastics recycling, working in that industry, where my brothers were cabinet painting. So being able to talk to and really connect with these people that are closest to me that are outside of my specific industry or my path help me to bring a different perspective. Also bringing in even just client conversations or conversations with counterparts that are in the business world, in their own small businesses, being able to talk about the world that we're in today, so the environment we're in today, and being able to see the changes that are happening outside, and really looking at the need So being able to look at your baseline and knowing, okay, I have skincare products, I have, this type of work, these herbs, Ayurvedics, and then saying, okay, well, we need something to deal with anxiety, because a lot of people are dealing with anxiety. So taking a step outside of the space that we're in here, specifically in the shop or the building, and now looking outside to see, okay, what are people actually dealing with in the real world? Things that we may not be exposed to on a regular basis, talking about emotional abuse and toxicity, and knowing that these are the types of things that are going to create a need to be able to heal and to be able to focus on. So now all of a sudden you're looking at, I'm not looking to make a lotion. I'm not looking to do an oil blend. I'm looking at, how can this change somebody's life? How can this create a better space for somebody else in their world? So those types of things are what keep the mind going, and really exposing to things that you may not generally have crossed paths with in the past. Being open and open to hearing things that you may not even agree with, or that may not align with your belief systems. Those are really big things that I've had to open up to a little bit more over the last 10 years or so, to say, hang on a second, this is actually a really, really great idea to combine a few different things to create a new product, or to create a new service offerings, or anything like that. So it's a lot of outside work, but then also going back into, talking about, why did this start? What did I need that I didn't have during my journey, and starting to get the creative juices flowing that way.
I love that you just being open to ideas that you may not agree with, that you may not like for your own business, but it does sort of open up your horizons a little bit. I think that's a fantastic point for us to, for our participants today to hear about, is, always listen, and listen, but actually listen and actually hear what's being said, instead of just, sort of saying, okay, yeah, I got it. And it's something that sometimes, even if you don't take that to your business, maybe it doesn't work. And then you sort of straight that path. You really do. Melanie, there's got to be some times when you sat back and you said, okay, I'm doing well. I've accomplished a lot of what I've got to do. It'd be really easy to sit back and stop being motivated, and stop being creative, and stop looking for new opportunities, if you will. Has there ever been that time? And what did you do? And how do you stay progressive? How do you stay wanting to go and produce the next product, or and take the next business venture?
It's actually funny that you talk about that, because I feel like I'm going through it right now. So we are looking to scale the business, and I don't have the answers to everything. So I recently went to a place where it's a gold mine of entrepreneurs, and very successful entrepreneurs, to network and to be able to find people that can help kind of take me under their wing, that have taken their business from like the ground and up. And so for me, it's sticking with people that are doing what kind of you want to do, which is grow a business. And so it's it's staying within an environment of like-minded people, and you have these conversations. And for me, like, I think of, okay, how do we get to the next step? What do I do? And I write down my game plan, what I think is going to take us to the next level. And then I had spoken with one of my business mentors, and they're like, no, you're thinking about it all wrong. You're going to spend your days just running in circles, and you're going to burn out. If you change this piece, and move this is what's going to happen. And you're like, mental clarity, right? And like, so for me, it's putting myself in an environment. You always become a product of your environment, and putting yourself in an environment where you want to thrive and grow, and making sure that your support system and the people that you interact with are on the same page, and have the best intention for you, and also are knowledgeable. And I always need people that are 10 steps ahead of me, because how am I going to grow if and if you're not growing, you're not moving, you're not making moves. Like, that's part of motivation, right? So it's having a challenge put in front of me and saying, oh, okay, this is our next step, this is where we go, how do we get there, right? Because if it's a rinse and repeat day in and day out, sorry, that sounds boring, but it's like, and that's part of life, and that's part of the job. But I mean, you're going to go into year 2 and year 3 and year 4 doing that, right? And if you're not growing, and growing is what's exciting. And so for me, it's putting yourself in the right environment with the right people. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Not going stale. Those are hard, because sometimes, entrepreneurs are itchy people. They like to progress and they like to go, and they really do. So I love that. Nadia, how about you? What have you done when you've sort of, maybe reached a milestone, or you've reached that point? Okay, I did it. I can check that off my list. How do you wake up the next day and say, no, I'm taking more steps and I'm going to progress and grow my business?
So I take note from my previous world in project management and Six Sigma. So I really do ultimately sit down and look at the processes, look at how things are flowing. So when I've gotten to a level where it feels comfortable and things are flowing really well, I'll look for efficiencies or ways, or inefficiencies, basically ways that we can improve the process to make now room to bring something else new. So using the services as an example, starting with energy work, outside of having the boutique, doing the studio sessions, working with Reiki, getting that kind of solid and running really well. Okay, this is going really well. It's booked. Everything's wonderful. Now, spending some time to add on learnings. Our sound therapy certification happened 2019. So taking the time to do that now, being able to offer something in addition. But the studio process, the scheduling process, the timing, the buffers, the equipment, all of that had to be running smoothly. And again, taking away some of the additional steps before we could make space for adding something new. So every single service, every single product that we have here, again, had to get to a point where, okay, it's working really well. How can I make it work better? So that instead of just adding something on top of the layers, making sure that they're actually fitting in the space and the time and the energy that was available. So that's a huge one. Also the constant learning and connecting with people as well. So it's ultimately it's really making sure that everything is going to be able to work very, very smoothly, autonomously almost in some cases, so that it's a comfort level to be able to step into another space. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, 100% it does. And I learned something from you a minute ago, because the old business person in me would say, okay, well, we're creative and we'll start another brand, or we'll start a new campaign, and we'll do all these things. Sometimes creativity is actually looking at what you have and tweaking it to be more efficient. And that's my light bulb went off there, because I wish I would have known that 15, 20 years ago, because sometimes when you challenge yourself to be creative, it's not just a new product or a new color or a new brand. It's also doing things with what you have better. Find new efficiencies, looking at new standard operating procedures, whatever the heck it's going to be. And that's, I love that you said that, because I don't think as entrepreneurs, we think that way. We think we have to reinvent ourselves, not fix. And that's a fantastic point for our folks to know out there. Melanie, last word to you. What's that one tip that you'd give people to be creative and stay creative?
The one tip to stay creative.
Yeah, no pressure at all, but we're all looking at you.
Yeah,
one tip.
Stay creative. I don't know. I really I narrow it down to my business, and how I stay creative is I get out there, and I have so many life experiences and different opportunities, and surround myself with different people and different it's just because, again, you're going to learn from all of the different realms that you involve yourself in, right? And again, being able to take different things from different industries, and it just sparks creativity. And I mean, it's I think just get a lot of life experience, because it'll blow your mind, the amount of things that you can come up with, and the ideas and the things that you learn, right? If you stay in your lane and just rinse and repeat kind of life, that's not creative.
You never fail if you've learned. And we've learned from Nadia with more of the corporate background, a project management background, taking that to starting and owning a small business is absolutely magical. Melanie, with your experience in your athletic side, taking those things and taking that to a business is so valuable too. And the one thing I would offer is that there are so many intangible skills that you don't even know that you bring to your business until you actually get in that spot. And that's something I think is really important for us to think about too. Thank you so much for the time you spent in helping us to, become and be more creative, whether that be a new business, a new offering, or fixing what you've got underneath your feet. I really appreciate the wisdom and the time, and I look forward to talking to you both again. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.